Hello everyone, and welcome to another Live at 5. It is a Wednesday, so I'm supposed to be on Facebook, but somehow the Facebook page is locking me out and I can't go live on Facebook. So it's been a minute since we've had a Live at 5. I had a brief vacation, and so today, with the return of Live at 5, I was going to be focused on the most exciting event that has happened at Cranbrook at the moment. And as the spring comes around, we are having looked at empty fountains for many, many months, beginning to see a major change here at Cranbrook. And that is, the fountains have been filled again. So this is pretty exciting news. If any of you take walks around campus, or if you've been watching Live at 5, you know that we have not had water in the fountains for close to a year, or more than a year, 18 months. And so it is a thrill to see that we have hooked up to the fire extinguisher, and here Carl Millis's tritons and fishes are bursting forth with water. Now, every year we do clean and wax all of the bronzes, but this year we did not have to do the hot wax process because that is really protecting them from water damage, and they had not actually been turned on since the last time we applied the hot wax. And so it was a little bit quicker to clean the triton and fishes this year. Now, the fountains are filled using this fire extinguisher over here. And there are multiple ways to fill the fountains, but this is the fastest way. And we are trying to get ready for a very important photo shoot that you will see in a national publication coming up yet this week. And so there's some urgency to try and get as much water in the fountains as possible. Now, while I have the handful of you here watching Live at 5 on Instagram, I'll just remind everyone that on May 22nd, we are having our big fundraiser for the Cranbrook Center for Collections and Research. And that fundraiser is going to be celebrating the work of Carl Millis and the other Swedish artisans and craftsmen here at Cranbrook. Of course, Millis is responsible for the many monumental bronze and stone figures that are all around campus, and which are now being reinvigorated with the turning on of the water. So as a viewer, you can watch that for just a $50 donation to support the work of the center, or you can come in at a higher level and help support the work of preservation, interpretation, and education about all of Cranbrook's treasures. So head over to center.cranbrook.edu and you can find out how to sign up for our global house party at Cranbrook and Millis Garden. There's a lot of work going on around the Millis sculptures as we prepare for another major summer season with people coming back to campus. And we also prepare for this photo shoot that I'm not sure if it's entirely public who the photo shoot is, but it is for a national publication, so it should be out later this month. And Venus Bronzework, Giorgio at Venus Bronzeworks, comes through and he cleans all of our bronzes. And we clean them back to the aesthetic of Carl Millis. And you can see here that the pools have filled up: the first pool, the second pool, the third pool, the fourth pool, and there are some students who should not really be in the fifth pool, but they are down there. And then eventually the water will crest and we will have our magnificent Aegean Sea again for the bull and Europa to go running across to Mount Olympus. Of course, there are sort of Carl Millis sculptures everywhere, and it is wonderful to see here that the Orpheus Fountain is also turned on. Again, it has been off like all of our fountains since October of 2019 when we shut them off for the winter, thinking they would shortly be on again. And it is amazing to have them back. It was also pretty crazy this morning when we had a snowstorm and the fountains were covered in snow. And the water was warmer than the air, and so it was not only shooting water up, but it was also steaming the entire fountain. Now, of course, Cranbrook's Orpheus Fountain is missing Mr. Orpheus himself, the god of music, who, after losing his wife, goes down to the underworld to try and find his wife. And there are two interpretations of the Orpheus Fountain. One is that these are figures, the shades of the underworld being awoken by Mr. Orpheus. But Carl Milles actually said that these are simply lovers of music being awakened by the god and his lyre. Now, the Orpheus in Stockholm, where the fountain was originally commissioned and sculpted, is close to 38 feet high. But here at Cranbrook, our museum is only about 40 feet high. And so I think you can see why Sarnen and Milles agreed that we would not add the Orpheus figure in the center of this grouping, but instead widen the radius out a bit, and then he does manipulate their heads so they're all turning different directions here in Bloomfield Hills than they are in Stockholm. The only figure that he identified as a person was Beethoven, who is raising his arms up in agony that he is going deaf. We do know from the papers in Cranbrook archives the name of some of the models of students who posed for Carl Milles in the sculpting of the Orpheus Fountain. Now, before I leave you with this unexpected Instagram Live at 5, we'll head over here. No, there is not construction work going on at the Art Museum. This is a contribution for the annual graduate degree show from the class of 2021. This is from Stephen Keppers, who is part of our brand new 4D design department. And he has requested little contributions to be made. And then the sign shows up with the contribution. So currently it says safe space. And this I'll use as a conclusion of today's Live at 5, just to remind everyone that the graduate degree show is now on view. It opened on Friday and it will be up for about a month. So make sure if you're local to don your mask, sign up for a time online, and come and check out the work of the graduating students from the class of 2021. I'll be back next week, hopefully on Facebook. I saw that my registrar was trying to sort out why I couldn't get in, and it looks like we did some updates, and who knows, we're having trouble. So I'll be back next week for another Live at 5. Good to see all of you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're being safe, and I hope that you have a chance to come and visit the beautiful Cranbrook grounds, whether that is through our fundraiser, a global house party at Cranbrook and Millis Garden taking place on the evening of May 22nd virtually, or whether that's coming up to Bloomfield Hills and visiting us in person. As we talk, the fountains continue to fill, and soon the campus will begin to be animated again, and perhaps the weather will go above 40 degrees. Until next time, everyone. This is Kevin Atkinson, curator with the Cranbrook